Alright, we're back with some Windy Meadow, a Roadwarden Tale, which may sound very familiar because it's the same game makers that made Roadwarden, which is the recent video that we did. So if you guys, I'll put a link for the Roadwarden video in the description if you guys are interested in that as well. Alright, we'll go over the trailer, and then I'll go over the stories and the characters. Windy Meadow, A Roadwarden's Tale is an interactive slice-of-life visual novel about choosing your own path. Help three protagonists make the most important choices of their lives, featuring a multitude of handcrafted characters in a richly detailed village set in the Roadwarden story world. Step into the enchanting visual novel of Windy Meadow, A Roadwarden Tale, and rediscover the mysterious world of Viaticum. This peaceful commune may not be the wealthiest or most renowned, but it offers something far more valuable, a haven of tranquility and harmony amidst the hustle and bustle of the outside world. The heart of the story lies in the intertwined stories of Vena, Fabel, and Ludicia, three unique protagonists facing life-altering choices that will shape their destinies. Join them as their stories unfold, brought to life by the animated sprites and set to an evocative musical score. Ooh, they got music! Choices shaped ending significantly, shift the game's atmosphere, while even smaller decisions influence dialogues, events, and how your protagonists are perceived by other characters. Alright. So these are all the little character designs that they had in the press kit. I don't know if these are the main characters or not, but we're gonna jump into the tutorial first, and then we'll do the game. Raw! She's like, what? Alright. Alright. Let's start with this tutorial, because I think this is going to be hard if we don't. And we might make it smaller too so you guys can see it. Alright, let's button. Continue, click the left mouse button anywhere within the constraints of the white border. Anywhere within the constraints? Pressing the left mouse button will also speed up the game if you can try it soon to skip the black screen. Usually the game gives you unlimited time to read, but not always. If you skip anything by accident, use the mouse wheel to scroll back. Well, that's cool. Or use the archive to reread the most recent text. You can find it in the menu, press the right button to escape. In some cases, you'll need to make a choice tied to your character. You'll see an example now. The game won't move you forward until you press an option. Want me to decide? Tell me more. I mean, you kind of made a choice already. I think I got it. Well done. People you talk to with... Most people you talk with have their text aligned to the right side of the screen. The same goes to their portraits. Your character, on the other hand, will be presented on the left side of the screen. If you'd rather keep our entire text aligned to the left, select so in the game setting available in the menu. I think I might. Listening characters have much darker portraits like here. My name just being yellow, so you can't point at it with your mouse to see a short description of who I am. You can also point at other yellow words. Maybe you want to learn more about dragon bones? Oh, cool, okay. I'm gonna see what dragon bones are. Whenever you visit a new place, a small animation will remind you to open the map. Press the marked icon to see where you're at. All this house is placed just outside the walls. This box allows you to enter the menu. It also reveals a few additional buttons. These buttons open the codex. In this tutorial, it's rather empty, but will soon contain the descriptions of all the game's characters and more. Okay. Just like the right mouse wheel. What? Right button here rolls back the game, while the left one speeds it up. Alright, so this is just basic stuff. Let's just go into the game then. Oh, this is the tutorial here. We have to select a chapter here. Vena the Huntress? Chapter? Since when do you have this many patron stabs? The news of Vena's deeds have reached the city. The merchants want to hire her. Deeds? I don't recall. But I told you already, what a load of bunch. I think I'll take the bottle back home. What else is new, ma'am? It's been an hour since you joined the merchants at the table. Keeping your back straight for so long start to wear on you. But you were told only to speak when spoken to. You observe the others, but you can't follow their prattle. Something about a missing ship from the Far East, and a new spice that everyone just needs to try, even though it's as expensive as a sheep. They summarized how you defeated those trolls from last autumn right at the start, but since then they've pretty much been ignoring you. I'd rather hang out with my friends. The longer I'm here, the easier it's going to get. I'd rather hang out with my friends. You're supposed to meet at the large rock behind the Pearl River. A slow, nice evening, even if not a very exciting one. So Vena, how's your beer? Well, let's see where we're at. The Tasty Claw Inn. It's my favorite spot in the village. Clean, warm, and smelling of fresh fruits. It's slow in the daytime, but busy during evenings and rainfalls. Lita works here from Stabilus and the innkeeper. Stabilus the innkeeper. So that's the innkeeper. You cast a glance at your dad. This is my dad. My dad's a hero, the best hunter in the realm, no matter what anyone says. Who managed to stay in control as always. Why can't you be that confident? What? I prefer some cider, please. I'd rather have some cider, to be frank. You can say sooner. You better learn how to speak for yourself before you reach the city. Don't encourage her in Bertus. The city offers everything one may desire. This is about her Bertus. Gambling, music, fancy clothes. It's better to drink crappy beer than to insult the merchant. She's just being polite, evil lord. Your girl has potential, Latre. She follows in your footsteps. Kind words, but you'd struggle to find a hunter who could match her talent, and she's not only even 20. Leading the trolls into the swamp was quite a plan our Fabel put together. A song about her bravery. Our Fabel, you've grown quite comfortable with your new home. Maybe, in a way. Let's not jump ahead. Nothing's been decided yet. But it's a great opportunity. Don't you want to leave the nest, darling? I'd love to. Don't think about it after you tell us your offer. They didn't even let me speak! Argentina knows the details, but from what I've heard, the guild in Veritas can reward Vena's talents generously. It's not that intricate. Oh my god, I can't speak today. We can always find a job for a gifted warrior. What kind of job? You start as a guard at a store or maybe a warehouse, learn more about the city, then become my personal defender. Prove yourself, and once I get the chance, I'll whisper your name to the larger players. All you need is strength and ambition. Keep going the extra mile and you'll end up as a commander, or if you're seeing our caravans and ships. You could work as a road warden for a year or 5, too. A life of wealth and adventure, then a quick retirement. Especially if you were to join the guild as a investor. As you can see, such a life has treated us fairly well. Don't tell me it's not a tempting opportunity. But the village is everything I need, and I heard that living in the city can be rough. People here need me. Oh, wait. These are decisions I have to make. I heard that living in the city can be rough. Some city folks hate their home. Evolo moved here, right? To rest from the noise and stench, and he's rich. I'm the exception, not the rule. If I were in your position, I'd not only refuse this invitation, I'd also hide my spear in a basement and drop this hunting business altogether. I'd rather be a farmer. I already had a life of luxury and worries, just like my parents before me, and they flourished in it. My dream was to live away from all the commotion. I'm lucky to get a chance to do so. Most people won't. But you are not a quite frightened weakling like I was when I was your age. You can handle living in Burtis. Don't be so dramatic. Living behind the city walls is much easier than in the countryside. At least our food doesn't try to eat us first. But the village has everything I need. Windy Meadows is a peaceful place. There's food, mead, and work to do. Why would I leave all this behind? One day you may wake up and realize that you're bored, that you crave more than your home is to offer. Journeys, mead, friendship, better hope. It won't be too late for you already. I used to be in exactly the same position, you know, a young sorceress, appreciated for her talent with many open doors. I kept asking myself, what do I really want? And I found the answer. I wanted it all the best things that coin can buy. I spent each free moment mastering the spells of wind and light and working with adventurers, dealing with beasts. Once I came to the city, I had a reputation to my name. And I knew my worth. I reached for the very top, assisting the guild's caravans, taking the most dangerous routes, until I could look the guild masters in the eyes and demand what I wanted, and they couldn't refuse. The sounds of a trader luring someone into taking a deal, how I don't miss it. I don't mind listening to a master speaking about their craft. I don't know. Our mum is sick. Dad's our very last hunter. Victus needs my help with Enmera. And once autumn comes and the undead show up, what then? What's wrong with her mom? Preda's as a master of crossbow and traps. It hurts me to see how her illness keeps her in bed. It's been 3 years already. She may never be strong enough to return to the wilderness. It doesn't say why she's sick. We won't be left to ourselves. The merchants know our value. The soldiers from the city are a capable bunch. Your mom and I can rely on your brothers and sisters. I hate to think about checking the traps without your aid, but don't burn your future for our sake. Your mother wouldn't forgive herself. Listen to the other little wolf. Oh, listen to the others, little wolf. The right guides the brave. So, Argentina, you're gonna visit us again in 15 days, am I right? With the wedding supplies? Looks like it. I won't be traveling this direction again until the end of summer. That's when we'll give you our final answer. Will you use a ferry boat or a cart? I have yet to decide. Just be sure to have space for a passenger, deal? I'll figure something out like always, don't you worry. Day 1. Oh my god, I'm fucking muted. Damn it! I can't go back either. I'm so sorry, guys. First days of autumn, that's when old Salvia warned me that they never stop their hunt and can turn the land into a wasteland. I'm glad you remember. The way you took care of them was impressive, don't get me wrong, but now I've grown more and more convinced that even that was too late. They changed the forest already? Last year we used simply leave the house and look for wild game. Now we're forced to set traps, use bait, look for rats and squirrels. At least there are more hares around, but the larger creatures were either caught or chased away by trolls. While fewer beasts mean more rats and birds, so fewer mushrooms, nuts, fruits, and flies, and Limos told me there are more fish in the stream. Everything connects. You know where I'm going with this. You want me to leave? We lack game, so there ain't a place for me in the village. I should leave. Would it hurt you to focus on something other than yourself for a bit? Though it's not true that we ought to leave the animals alone for at least a year, the forest needs another breath. What about our forest garden? Should we open it to the predators? I had a talk with Ludicia. We'll limit ourselves to startling them instead of killing them. The garden is crucial for us, more important than any wild game. But we ain't some armed numbskulls. A good hunter can do many things, and Lacerda would allow us to join the guards for a few seasons. I won't spend my days sitting in. So we're gonna be fine? There's one more obstacle, but that's enough loitering already. Let's pull out our boar while it's still sunny. It's a tiresome task. The ropes are secured to one of the trees, stopping the boar from falling. To pull it out, you have to fight for every inch. Oh, that's a big boar. Holy shit, it's heavy. Language, still, it's all muscle. A fine beast to the end our current path with. I'm so tired today. Will it taste good after smoking? I ain't sure. Boar meat can be treacherous. Now let's pray. Of course. Praise to be the rights for the years we've received, for the walls that guard us, for our strong limbs and sharp senses, and the gentle weather, blah, 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 yakety smackety. Help us spread your meat wisely in our family, and oh, schmackety smackety. We're sure what you give us with the Vots, your servant, to prove to you that we are ready to leave everything behind. It's such your will. So be it. I'll play along, so be it. I wish I could pray as gracefully as the priests, shameful being a soul of simple words. Doing a great job. Don't worry, it's about having an honest heart, right? I guess, but remember how my father started to forget words and names once his hair got gray? Until he lost the gift of speech? Our family ought to squeeze out everything we can with each year we get. Now before we head back home, take a look here. A smooth stick. With blood on its end? It's a spear? A goblin found a thin branch and sharpened it with a brock. After all, no undead would have reason to attack a wild beast, and no other creature would wield a weapon in combat. So, he came here to stab the boar? Much blood, it's fresh. Goblins found the boar after it fell in the hole. They tried to jab it, but didn't stick around. The grass here is trampled, but I see no footprints. They could be slim from hunger, and that means desperate? I'm proud of you, little wolf. You do just fine in the city. But goblins are bad news. Best case scenario, they're gonna keep our tribe away from the woods. But who can be sure they won't attack the farmers or snatch our kids over the wall? Damn. Let's head back and warn the workers, and this monster will fill up a whole wagon. We've got a long day ahead. The third, maybe the second largest game we've ever caught. Wonder how it got here. Good thing you didn't have to fight it. We wouldn't attack it even if we got the chance, not without old Savia's blinding dust. But Dad used to fight such monsters when I was still little. Because Mum was at his side, she hit a charging beast right in the eye. She'll show you once she starts walking again. What's all this about a goblin tribe you found? Just the marks and footprints? Victus told me they were just big cunning monkeys. To me, they're small furry people on paws. Can they be lured into a trap, or will you scare them away like you did with the trolls? Dad's got a plan. He knows what he's doing. Are you? Will you get rid of them before you leave us? Don't worry, I'll protect you. We'll find a way to get rid of them. I ain't afraid. I want to help you. The tribe's gonna stand together. We lack magics, yet we're able to outsmart the trolls. We can handle some goblins. I don't know what to think of the city. Part of me wants to stay here. Dad says you'll leave for sure, but there's nothing waiting for you here. Dad says many things, but the choice is mine. I ain't gonna leave you. I'd visit you each spring. Always thought you'd be here to see me on my first hunt. Dad has a saying, the right doesn't ask us about our plans. Goblin, gargoyles, dragons won't hide in the stronghold like some old lady, no matter what's coming for us. I'm a better fighter than most folks here, a spear woman. Spear girl, maybe. Still ain't your call. Dad or Lasetta will ask you once they need your help. Then I'm ready to fight. I just need a chance to prove it. Then wait for the right moment. You've got to listen to Dad. Oh, and these are options. These are so hard for me to read. So sorry. Be ready when the right moment comes. Don't argue with Dad, but you keep your spear close and your eyes open. I will, and I won't disappoint you. I know you're very brave. I'm happy for you. You know why? You got this job offer. You're gonna be rich. I don't even know what I want. Being rich doesn't mean much to me, I think. But all the merchants say Bertus is a busy place with soft beds, all sort of food and drink, and the colors and loud streets. All these bards and acrobats. In Windy Meadow, it's always the same. Oats with milk, same cider, cold winters, no music, no young men to have a walk with. I like to have a taste of the city for a season or two, but to spend years there, I don't know. Distant grass is always greener. Can't you take the job, Belle, after you get sick of it? Would be wrong. I don't want to quit unless necessary. Can't play with our tribe's good name. I don't want you to be bored, but yeah, I'd miss you too. It's hard for me sometimes. I like visual novels, but sometimes it's really hard for me because I always forget, oh, you can't do anything. You're just reading, and I mean, you are doing stuff. You're doing choices. This is not one of my favorite games because it's hard for me not to feel like I wanna like start walking around and busting into people's houses and looking through their drawers and trying to get stuff. I'm trying to find items. Where's the booty? But it's nice when, I think it's nice offline maybe because I don't have to read it out loud so much. Muffled voices reach you from inside. Darling, check what they want. Why me? Just the open door, ain't it? Brute. Are you sure you want to argue with us after you dropped your helmet in the river? Answer the bloody door before we cut your pay for the equipment you've borrowed from us. Hello, gal. Something wrong? Not sure yet, but we should talk. Tell me, you don't need me to look for the lost ring again. Our dad? We're here in the Lutra's name. He's examining the forest right now. Come, we've got time for you. Vena and Hostia, right? That's us. I expect the mayor has briefed you already. Only mentioned that we're to prepare the village for the furry shitheads. So ever fought a tribe of goblins before? Me, not really, but there are lectures on all kinds of beasts in the city. It ain't like their trolls nothing to worry about. Unless there's 100 of them. They climb the wall, can't get past the wall, and it won't be easy to hire a mage to help us. Let's think, we've got the 3 of us, and you, Vena, and your father? Would your brother join us? Sure he would. Victus is a bit busy. I don't know, but he'll help us. Priest Vats. Priest Vots too. Oh no, I'm gonna lose my voice. And maybe we could ask the lumberjacks. Ooh, the lumberjacks! I want to be a lumberjack. You mean pay the lumberjacks? That's hardly enough. I doubt we get much use for arming the rest of the village with spears. Have you learned anything about these goblin weaknesses? I mean, we've got fire, if nothing else. Not much to go with, is it? Better prepare the stronghold for the elders and kids. Bringing in the beds and furs from storage is easy enough, but we'll need help with collecting water and food. What about so much to discuss? Especially if we were to mobilize our neighbors. The mayor wouldn't skimp on a few more shields, would she? We're in for a boring afternoon. Let's grab some chairs. Finally, some fresh air. I'll leave the door open. Is it just me, or do you get bolder when the soldiers are around? Not that I've got a choice. They're not my best friends or anything, but they said I could join them once they head back to the city. They'd recommend me to their commander. They'd recommended me to their commander. I think they're called. What are you going to do? Sounds like a big opportunity. Will you accept it? Nah, that's not for me. I won't leave my parents, and I ain't gonna get my belly torn apart in the middle of nowhere. As long as I've got my bowl full, I don't care about dragons. Though getting noticed was nice. I'm sure it was. Well, it's getting late. See you soon. Good luck. Are you going? Why even bring me with you if I've got nothing worth saying? Whoa. Huh? What do you mean? Well, I didn't even notice. Still here. Father's waiting for you. What's wrong? We're having a family dinner. Victus is taking Meta hard to say, to the city to look for a healer. So old Salavia can't help her. That's what Victus said. I'm sorry, pet. Any news about the goblins? Kind of, but let it go for now. We shouldn't burden Victus with this. So Dad found them. How many? At least 30. They settled in the cave not that far from here. We're screwed. And what about you? No work today? Jobless can survive for a few hours on his own. I need some rest anyway. I had to prepare the entire dinner for you two. We also had to work to do, you know. So heroic of you. Just saying, it'd be helpful if you could just get home today without me having to give you a ride in a wheelbarrow. Day 2? So be it. So be it. So much fresh meat. Are we starving or what? This day deserves it. The board was large enough to grant us a feast, and we'll share the leftovers with Religa. I got us a bottle of spiced meat for Castus, too. Can I have some? Ain't it hilarious how Victus can simply decide to leave for the city once he sees he needs it, while Vena sits on the fence for half a season? You're too old for petty squabbles. Just saying, at least she was kind enough to join us instead of stuffing herself at the inn again. Let's have a talk before we drink anything. Amanda needs help, but I can't leave you with the goblins lurking around the corner. What did old Savia say? Can't she help us? Ludicia told me that both herbalists have run out of ideas. Soon, Innis Shell won't be able to swallow food. And while I'm grateful for your prayers, I can no longer wait for a miracle. You should still go to Salvia for Ludi. Everything's dark and hopeless. I'm sure they've discussed it together. She's rude and weird. So, she's smart. We're not asking her to be nice. We ought to respect her and work as a team. Thank you, Vena. Yes, sometimes you just need to swallow your medicine and move forward. Speaking of medicine, right. Pup, you have your own set of responsibilities now. Child that's defenseless without you. And what about the monsters? It was all a false alarm. I got spooked by 5, maybe 8 hungry apes. We'll handle them, Vena and I. Finally, some good news, but are you sure you don't need any help? Help me by bringing back my granddaughter. When can you leave? Volo wants to hire the lumberjacks to escort you if the rights allow it. We'll hit the road tomorrow, just before noon. Dad, lie to me? But what if we need his help? Victus has got the right to decide what to do. What is this, let Latra lie? I'm gonna be honest. Dad, you told Lito that this goblin tribe is huge. Shouldn't Victus stay? It's dangerous to split up. Is this true? I can't just leave you with those beasts. Well done, Vena. You did it again. But we need to stick together. Just not my fault he wants to lie on him. Let's take Innie to old Salvia instead. Silence, all of you. You gotta go. I'd do the same for any of you. The healers from the city couldn't help Mum. And even if the right does guide them to help Inmira, do you want me to bring her back to a pile of ashes? Shut up, you said enough already. But Dad, leave this to the adults, sweetie. Go to your mother. Don't talk to us like that. Are you serious? Shut up, adults? What's wrong with you? I'm sorry, I'm confused and afraid. Let me fix all this. Oh, please let us talk for a bit. Victus and I need space. And forgive me, Vena, but I do hope you can see you've made a mistake. Fine, I'll go. Listen to me, little wolf. We've been alright. You have your own duty to handle now. Don't surrender to fear. I ain't ready to make this choice. You are. I trust you. Do what's right. Time for us to head to the inn, sis. We should stay? Opening a fresh cask of cider, not that you've tasted the difference. Hanging out with the older folks for a change. First time this happened was drinking with the merchants just the other day. Our little Vena is a serious adult now, and when did I have the time to be a kid? When did you fell your first prey? 6 years ago I hit an otter with my slingshot. A nimble beast. Yeah, I used to have quite the aim back when I had 2 healthy eyes. 6 years, a third of my life. My friends are preparing them for the worst. The goblins may come any day now. Does it happen often around here? Goblin attacks? Goblins or any other monsters. The trolls ate one of Arata's sheep not so long ago. It's the safest village in this part of the province, protected by guards, rituals, and hunting traps. You'll get used to it. You've just got spoiled by the tall city walls. Give it a few years and a limb or two, and you'll feel at home. Stab here is about my age, by the way. Judging by your harsh glances, you could be 5 years ahead of me, or taller than me, too. And more muscular, don't forget. Flesh is one thing, the soul is another. Easier to mature in the countryside. Definitely not a biased perspective. And some, like Keller, won't ever grow up. And why would I? Swing a hammer and not just give advice to youngsters. The woods are not too gentle for us nowadays, but how's the river? Any chance at a good catch I could use for soup? Don't expect any grand tales from me. The older I get, the fewer risks I take. It's all nets and fishing rods now, no spears or clubs or sarin bait. You try to pay attention for a while, but hearing the same old tale again makes your thoughts drift towards... goblins? My spear is sharp, but I should check on my boot knife. I should be able to handle a few goblins, right? Dad knows what he's doing. Argentina left the village yesterday, but I can still catch a whiff of her plum perfume. Whenever she comes here, she looks like she owns the place. Confident, wealthy, and gorgeous. Did I find all this in the city? It'll be a rough night at home. I'll sneak into bed without talking to anyone. I need to rest, but I already know Lita is gonna give me that look. Maybe I'll just stay here a bit longer. Another loud day, and yet I'm forgetting it already. All these little changes are happening around me while I'm drifting along. Will I end up in this inn tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that? While I'm here, Victus is preparing for his journey, but it was me who was meant to leave. Can't everything just slow down a bit? Huh? Her head is already resting on a cotton pillow all the way in the city. We were talking about the discussion we had with Ludicia today. Someone as good as hunting as you would have no problem teaching Limos how to hold a spear rightly. He's a clumsy, lazy ass. Now you got an issue with my ass? I'd never. I don't really think about hunting all that much. It's a respectable trade, with a dose of responsibility attached to it. A duty, some would say, and you've got the talent for it. Maybe. Dad's been teaching me since I was a kid. I've got a strong shell, good for combat, and the sharp senses of my mum. But I feel more myself when I'm home or with my friends or even here. Even here? Have some mercy. What would you rather do? Work for the merchants, guard the village, or travel? Let's do travel. Could be a mercenary, or a pathfinder, or a roadwarden, or an adventurer. I like to travel to see the wonders of the world here. Everything's so small. No spouse, no kids? Once I'm older, family would come once I save enough dragons to provide me. Dragons. What we call coins we use. Large rings made out of real dragon bones. Oh, that's what they were talking about. Oh, wow. They're useful for trading with the city merchants. Families want to help you as well. If everything goes right, sure. Had no such choices to bother with back in my youth. Windy Meadow needed food, and we ran out of things to forage for, so I started to chase after the meats from rivers. And when I was a kid, my home village needed someone to fix tools for them. I played around until I got pretty good at it. No one really asked me if I liked it. But I very much did. How about you, Stabs? Why'd you leave the city wealth behind? One can't run an inn there without joining the guild, and I'd rather keep the coins my parents left me after breaking their backs at the building sites for 30 years, thank you. There's no monsters in the city, right? No wraths of the herds? There are the gargoyles from time to time and the creatures underground, but I get what you mean. The truth is there's no heirs, Burgess. There's no heir in Burgess. Every inch belongs to someone. Each item has its worth stated in writing. Any step you take is seen. Sure, there are no robbers, just a few pickpockets, but the officials leave you with hardly anything. You'd be close to the merchants so you'd get a bit more space to be aware of the sacrifices. I guess if living in the city was pure delight, everyone would try to live there. Those fancy pants may act all high and mighty, but they need our hands more than we need their poems and elixirs. But we do need their soldiers and roads. Or even if we do, will our children need them? Our grandchildren? In one lifetime, we've seen the plague and the southern invasion. I guess so. Changes in the wind. Yes, no path is really safe, is it? Day 3. May the right guide your steps. Thanks, and your tribe. I was wondering where you were hiding. I'm getting old, the commotion wears on me. How did your goodbyes go? I'll miss our neighbors and you. Let's pray I get back before the leaves cover the roads. The chances are good. Can you get to the city in 2 days? 3, I'd say. It's noon already. You're taking a heavy pouch with you, so I'm sure you'll find a mage in no time. Who knows, maybe you'll be back in 10 days. Well, it's not impossible. Are you afraid of the journey? A dangerous road ahead. Will you be alright? Ain't my first time on the road. Don't be dumb. The 100th trip is as dangerous as the first one. Wash your ears and mind tree crowns. Stay away from the hard drinks, especially at the roadside inns, and keep your eyes on the game. Fine, fine. But with our bags resting on the wagon, we'll save plenty of strength for the beast. I trust in the right. Keep an eye on the pouch of yours. 10 people told me that newcomers are the juiciest bites for pickpocketers. Yeah, I look forward to the inns, but I'll get in touch with Evolo's families. They may have a room for me or some work that would allow me to stay in a safe haven. How are you going to get back? Will your crew join you? I doubt it. We'll likely get assigned to right after we pass the city gates. Worst case scenario, I'll join a trading caravan and stick to the main road until I reach the nearest inn. From there, I'll hire a few mercenaries or Roadwarden to escort us home. Feed in Lini? Only once you make a stop. Take your time. Don't let her choke. Seriously, I've been at her side long enough for you to trust me. And we do, but you never know which word you need to hear before you enter the woods. Any of them may save your life. Just in case we brought you something. Oh? It used to belong to. Oh, wow. Nalia. Of course, I recognize it. You're crazy. I can't accept it. It belongs to our family now. If you have to sell it. But it's made of cold steel. How much did it cost? Nalia will get a large meal a day from us for as long as she's our neighbor. She didn't ask for dragons. If you want to pay us back, look for a few mercenaries at the inn, pay them to protect our village, maybe hire a spellcaster. Guess I don't have a choice. Wasting time. The creatures of the nights won't wait for you. That's exactly right. I'll pray for all of you. Tell Mum I love her. Come back safe and tell her yourself. Well, time for our patrol. East? I ain't sure we should enter the woods anymore. Let's set some traps by the western bank and secure our cabin. These goblins live by a creek, so I bet they'll try to overtake the river sooner or later. Right. When might they attack the farmers? They're hungry, so any moment now. We've got to take the initiative. Recently, Hostia has been all too excited about facing the goblins in combat. You shouldn't throw such ideas at her. She ain't ready. She can fight. She's quick, she's nimble, she's trained all the time. She ain't a warrior yet, Vena. Goblin's limbs are all muscle and can tear her to pieces. Yeah, she could jump around them, but what then? Crush their skulls with a training stick? Think of the days when she refused to eat at all. It affected her shell. Give her the time she needs to heal. I'll keep her safe. Don't worry about her. Don't take on more tasks than you can handle. I need you to protect all of us, and having Hostia at your side would be a distraction. You want to prepare her for a hunt, teach her how to dress a duck, or take her to Arata and help her hunt down the rats on her farm. What happens to you when you were your age was extraordinary. Be glad she has a year of two of her childhood ahead of her. She needs more duties. She's almost adult. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting tired. She's almost an adult. Let her be responsible. She ain't like Lita or Victus. Her mother's illness pushed her deeper into her own thoughts, not into action, and we weren't there for her. If you force her to become someone she ain't, you'll hurt her. Have patience. Don't you have as much as a shred of respect for my judgment? You ain't allowed to undermine my authority in front of your sister. Your mother and I are responsible for her. You want to direct another soul through their childhood? Start your own family. Oh, wow. Let's focus on the day ahead. We can't control it, but we've got work to do. Oh, is she sick? What's going on? So now we want more beasts to reach our village. Never in my life did I think I'd witness such a day. Oh, is this the mother? She's sick. That's right, she's in bed. She's better. And let's hope we'll see runners, deers, and stoats, not goblins. I ain't looking forward to weird cats scratching at our door. We've got more hands to set up traps now. I guess I'd rather take cats than howlers. Let's not set too many traps. No pack of howlers will be as annoying as Victus on a diet. Or you when you catch a cold. He sends his love, by the way. Tell that pup to say it to my face. I did, Mom, I did. Oh no, she's coughing. You've been arguing with your father a lot these days. Did Lita tell on me? He came to me, asked me for advice. The great monster slayer doesn't have all the answers. What a day. Be gentle. Being the sole parent is harsh on him, and he hates to admit his shortcomings. As a kid, he wasn't allowed to make mistakes. Over and over again, people told him he ought to be a hero. Now I can't make any mistakes myself. It's not your fault you and your dad fight the same sickness. Curse of doubt? Expectations. But you're not on your own, like I've always said. I know a strong tribe is an united tribe. I'm glad the tales of our elders have stuck to you. Don't call yourself that. You don't even have wrinkles, unlike Dad. Such youth, all I've got left are the long naps and the brief hours when I have the strength to speak. If my condition doesn't finish me off, boredom will. We may still find a cure. Sorry, I didn't want to sound so grim. You and your sisters are a gift. I never met my mother, and I wish I could have been there by your side, but you're brave beyond belief. The right has truly blessed us. Come on, don't make me blush. I'm just happy, that's all. What's wrong? It's been a rough few days, that's all. Because you can't enter the woods anymore, or do you mean the goblins? I want to go, but I don't want to leave. You spoke with that merchant, right? Did she rub you the wrong way? Argentina's fine. Full of herself, but that's not unlike all the other rich folk. Or Argentias. Dad's acts as if taking this job is the easiest thing in the world. He says you've got no reason to refuse. There are plenty, such as all the memories. I have so many memories, all of them tied to our home. How it could have been different if you never traveled. You'd be surprised how adaptable humans are, even though we're so afraid of the unknown. All of you guys are my friends, and Tasty Claw in our forests? Of course, pup. Leaving my village wasn't easy either. It brought its share of pain. I loved my tribe. What made you leave? I craved the change to meet so many people, live just next to a wide river, sell my pelts and tusks to the city folk and get to the taste wines. Above all else, I wanted to be with your father. Do you want me to leave? What makes you ask? I want you to say yes. You're free, Vena. I don't want you to listen to your parents. The choices you're gonna make needs to be your own. Leaving will weaken what ties you to this place. Some days you won't think about us at all. But if you stay, you may never touch the life you've dreamt of. A mournful fate of all the same. And who can say your choice will make any difference? Stay here and you may die in a fire, or from a plague. Or maybe you'll get an even better offer in a year, or we'll find a treasure in the lake. Leave and you may die on the road at the hands of the undead, or get robbed in an alehouse, or lose your job after just a few days and return to us with lips rotten from resentment. We make choices and deal with their consequences. Our moments of bliss and pain are often undeserved. Most of the time we ain't in control. Don't look for the right path or your own path. Chasing after one's dreams is reserved for a mere handful, but the lives of everyone else are just as valuable. A starving orphan will seek their next meal, not happiness. Would you look down on them because of that? My greatest joy is that you have a choice, but no one can point your life in the right direction. There ain't one, and you won't avoid suffering. My remaining days will be little more than staying grateful for the good life I've had, and for sharing my misfortunes with the love of my life. Your shell is strong and young, and your soul is kind, and you now only need to sharpen your will. Mom, this babblings make me hungry. Bread is different, but I like it. Lita got a few tips from the Stabilus, was that? Right, especially. Didn't ask her for the details. One thing I don't long for is cooking. Having you girls in the kitchen is truly a blessing. Should I mention the last time you tried to whipped cream on your own? You tried to whip cream on your own? No reason to remind us of the traumatic events, little wolf. Alright, now we're ready. I don't know if it doesn't feel that safe. I didn't see any lights or burned wood at the goblin camp. I'd bet 10 dinners they won't set this cabin on fire. Let's put trust in these walls. All we've got to do is wait for their tribe to get into the range of our spears. These gaps and windows are perfect. I'd rather have the guards with us. Our scents could scare them away and would mask the bait of the raw meat. I don't have more blood and slices to scatter around the woods. We can't kill all of them on our own. Obviously, let's just wound some of the smaller ones and throw a few torches at the larger beasts. They'll run to the river to put out the fire and will know not to approach the humans around here. Should I light up one more torch then? Let's avoid the unnecessary smoke and fire. So all we can do is sit and wait. The joyful life of a hunter. Damn, the straw is soaked. No wonder it smells so bad. Yeah, it's more of a damp than a shelter. We should rebuild it next spring. If we can still cut any trees in the east without angering the herds. The lumberjacks have left quite a clearing. Good point. Couldn't you have skipped sprinkling yourself with lilac oils today? The trap would have worked better if we were odorless. You said we might come here. I was ready to spend time with my friends just in case. Maybe learn how to drink cider without sniffing each other? And you've made goblins' lives easier. Don't they rely more on their eyes than their noses? Let's not follow Nalia's vice so blindly. She's an old drunk. Next time, be more specific. You know I use lilac aloes all the time, and soap rather than ash. You want me to stay away from them for a few days? Tell me so. I could use help with organizing things around here. Some planning on your side wouldn't hurt. Listen to your elders. I've heard that countless times, and Nali is a famous hunter. Her path has clearly led her to a dark place. Who knows if her wits are still with her? But whatever, I can't predict every situation. We're taking risks, and I'll make a mistake sooner or later. Deal with it. I guess. Doesn't mean you have to tempt fate, pup. If you say so. The stench of our bait is strong. It's a safe bet that the blood will shed tonight. Are you afraid? Are you? Every passing year I get more scars. My hands grow stiffer and my back hurts more after a day of work. I guess you are old for a hunter. You're right about that. So how strong can a goblin get enough to burst in? About as strong as a human, I reckon. So they could make a hole in the thatch above us? They're too dumb for that. Are you sure? Sure enough to risk it. Did Lita pack us anything? I can spread a bit of honey on some slices of bread if you got the stomach to eat right next to a rotten pile of meat. I've eaten raw snakes and ravens. I'll manage. Oh, they're coming. Dad? Right. Ready? May the right's breath be with us. Breath be with us. Damn. Is that... Did we win? Why aren't they running to the river? Wait. They're scattering over the shrubs? What have I done? Oh no. Oh no! It's spreading everywhere! Run to the village! Wake up everyone! You can't! I need to rescue Salvia! I'll go with you. It's too dangerous. Let's stay together. Listen to me for once. Run! Day 4. I think I can do 5 more minutes and I think I'm losing my voice, guys. And we can't forage no more, and there are no mages to protect us. Half of the folks who could fight the monsters have fled to the city. No one fled anywhere. They had to leave, that's all. This is your last warning, Kalor. You won't interrupt us another time. Friends, we're all tired and angry, but we don't let your emotions take over. Be the sunbeam among the foliage, remember? Friends, we're all tired and angry, but don't let your emotions take over. Be the sunbeam among the foliage, remember? I just repeated that, sorry. None of you is held in windy meadows against your will. At the same time, I won't order an evacuation without good reason. We have the sick and the elders to look after. I can't force them all to seek refuge in the name of our fear. Indeed, a rash choice would turn us into beggars and vagabonds. Let's discuss the threat at hand. Step forward, Latro. Why ask him of all? Forget it. You and Vena have killed a bunch of the goblins already. Are they even a threat? I can't say how many of them were taken by the fire, but judging by the numbers I've seen roaming around the woods in the last few hours, I reckon the remaining ones will seek revenge. Can we stop them? If they're dumb enough to storm our walls, and what if the wraith of the herds follows suit? Then, no. There's a blessing in disguise, though. The trolls have already devoured dozens of local predators to the point that we need to cease all hunting for a year or two. That's a risky gamble to take. We could set up more traps. This is our land. We could place traps, stop the onslaught before it reaches our walls. Even if it were a sound plan, surrounding the entirety of our territory with moats and spikes would take years, and we have only a few days to act at best. My question is, what went wrong? How did the fire get out of control? I think Arado has something to say. It's Lotro's fault. That's what Nanalia says. To be specific, I simply stated that Lotro made a mistake. Here to elaborate? Well, he had no good reason to assume that these specific goblins were familiar with rivers or ponds. I guess nowadays the goblin packs are smaller than they used to be before the southern invasion. Back in the day, learning how to confront hundreds of them were crucial for any fighter. Each goblin pack or tribe, if you insist, is different. They ought to be observed, studied, outsmarted before combat. We used to plan our steps for days. A bit late to spread the seeds of knowledge, wouldn't you say? I'm just an old drunk, am I not? The troll told me everything was under control. That's why I sold my sword in the first place. This isn't the right time to dig old grudges up. Nalia, once the meeting is over, you could spend some time sharing your insight with us. Better prepare some decent snacks. Meanwhile, the rest of us should gather anything of value we have left and secure it in the warehouse. Whoever's life's outside of the Palestad needs to be moved to the stronghold. The guards will help you. We'll do our best right after the meeting. I'm afraid there's only one more thing we need to discuss. Please join us, Arata. Arata has decided not to seek retribution against you. We all knew that Lana had little time left. However, the wounds you've carved in our tribe can't be forgiven. Are you ready to hear the council's judgment? I am. Mayor, we're going to trade your trophies for seeds and saplings from the neighboring villages. If not for our own sake, then for the generation that is to come after us. As La Sorta describes the burden of the troll's mistake, from Salvia's burnt hut to the thread of salvation, sneaking up your tribe like its fog, your fathers become smaller than every word. You try to pay attention, but each moment lasts for an eternity. You think of your mother resting through her darkest days in the scarce luxury she has earned, and which she now is going to lose. You think of the chaos that's going to once again push Hostia into distress. Who knows if she's going to recover from it this time around? Of Lida's angry glances in the wall that grows between you. Of little Murda and the desolation she's going to find once she wakes up. Of Lotra's legacy, now shattered. Anger makes your breath warmer and louder. If you refuse to pay, you are to be branded as an outlaw. All tribes we can reach would hear of your banishment. Do you accept your fate, or would you rather take it to the judges in Bertus? How dare you! We put our lives in danger to protect you all! Vena! How could you be so cruel? Can't you see what you're doing to us? Vena! Outside! Alright, I'm gonna have to call it here because I'm getting really tired. Oh my gosh, and this is very hard to read sometimes. Let me save this. Don't forget. And see with the next game. I think we are done with our visual novels and the RPGs. Let me see. Oh, Alwa's Awakening is gonna be the only next one, the RPG. The other ones, I believe, are gonna be Sure Upper ones. Forgive Me, Father 2, and Unmetal. And then gonna break again. Alright, guys. Bye.